Hey friends, welcome to the channel. I'm Ken Smith, and I wanted to talk to you about something that a lot of people, I know I do this, but I know that there's a lot of people out there that will eat because of frustration or and when I say frustration, I'm not talking about depression, I'm talking about an event that might just absolutely get you so blah that you walk away from that, but instead of turning to something that could be productive or useful, we turn to food and we use that as a crutch. And I want to encourage you by actually showing you an example of something that has been kind of my nemesis. And every time I go to attack this, I get so frustrated that I stop doing what I should be doing and I start doing what I shouldn't be doing. And that's usually eating. And so I kind of recognize that behavior because I no longer eat out of depression. But I recognized that I was eating when I would get frustrated. And I needed to find a cure for that, if you will. I needed to address that issue because if I don't address that issue, it's just only going to get worse. It's only going to be more and more magnified. So I think you're going to find this really helpful because the solutions are actually quite easy. But first, I wanted to show you, where I'm at. Actually, I'm in my YouTube office for my train channel. And I'm not here to promote that. I'm just telling you where I'm at if you're curious, because I thought that this would be a great example of one of the things that was really affecting me. Okay. So I've got this model railroad that I'm building, and I've got several different sponsors and all of this stuff, and the channel is growing well, and I'm really pleased with it. But there was one particular item that I got from a sponsor that I knew could look absolutely breathtaking, but it was an absolute nightmare to put together. And I'm not trying to bash that sponsor because I'm very grateful for their contribution to the channel. The point I'm trying to make, though, is that when I looked at this, it was almost overwhelming, okay? And I'll show you what it is. It's actually this right here. Now, that bridge is kind of custom built. It's 4 foot long. It's over 1,000 parts. That's right. It was over 1,000 parts. And I have big hands. I'm big hands. And we're talking very, very tiny parts. I'm having to wear magnifying glasses. I'm having to work with tweezers and parts that are very fragile. And as I'm trying to cut them off of the sprues, these parts are breaking, so I have to fix this. And there were times where I was working and I would spill the glue over. And with this particular type of kit, you don't actually use your typical model glue. You actually use like a liquid glue, and you brush it on to the parts, and it's kind of a solvent based, and it melts the items so that they eventually will weld themselves together. Well, imagine spilling glue over a bunch of these parts that I've got sitting on my workbench here, and I'm like trying to quickly grab the parts and move them out of the way and clear the solvent off before it starts attacking the plastic. And I mean, I was just so frustrated. So every time I would start working on this thing, I would get frustrated, and I would go in the house and I'd grab some nuts, throw them in my mouth, and realized really quickly that, hey, that handful of nuts is, 200 calories. I just wolfed down 200 calories, and I grabbed 3-4 handfuls. I essentially ate a meal that I wasn't supposed to eat. Now, I knew better than that, but my frustration level was getting to me. And so I'm like, okay, I need to figure out a way to stop getting. I can't necessarily stop getting frustrated. This is a project that I just need to deal with. And how do I deal with it? I've got to put it together because I've got a sponsor that's, expecting me to put that together. And I want to be fair to that sponsor, but I also need to worry about me. And so I realized that I needed to turn from food and I needed to look at something else that I enjoyed that would get me out of frustration. Now, what that is, honestly, is I play the guitar for my church worship team. And so I would start looking at guitar videos and watching worship tutorials for how to play this lead or how to play that lead and whatnot. Or sometimes I would even just look at some secular songs from 30 or 40 years ago, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I've never played that before. That's kind of a cool little lead. I'll play that. I'll learn how to do that. It was very relaxing for me, and I turned away from food. So what I'm trying to tell you is to turn to something that encourages you when you're frustrated. Now, for you, that might be a dog. I've got a beautiful golden retriever. Her name is Layla. She's just an absolute joy. She's a lot of fun. You might have a dog. You might be a cat person. You're into cats. You might be a musician. You might be into model trains. Or maybe you're into model cars. The thing that I'm trying to tell you is that you just need to pivot to something that takes you away from your frustration, whatever that frustration is, in the moment that's tempting you to turn to food for an excuse. So that's all I'm trying to encourage you to do. It's super easy. I highly recommend that you just find something that you truly enjoy. Maybe it's watching movies. Maybe it's surfing on YouTube and looking for videos like this. I don't know. But the thing that I'm trying to encourage you is to turn away from food when you're frustrated and turn towards something that makes you smile and makes you happy. Have a wonderful day, and y'all be blessed.